This is about the time when I first laid my eyes on the love of my life. In 1979, I'm in school at K-State. I'm in a fraternity. I'm getting lonely. I'm wondering how in the hell, when am I ever going to meet that girl? The one that's really I'm going to live the rest of my life with. And sure enough, I was standing in the hallway of the fraternity one day, and one of my classmates said, "Hey, we're having a party. Do you need a date?" And I said, "Sure do." So I'm standing there with two of my fraternity buddies, and both of them are 6'5", 6'6", really tall guys, and they played a lot of basketball with me. So the fraternity social director says, "Here, I've got this girl. She's really tall. Which one of you tall guys wants her?" And I said, "Well, I like tall girls." He says, "Well, here's the number." So I got the number and I phoned her up, and sure enough, she was just fantastic to talk to on the phone. I was really getting along with her and kind of excited about that. So I got her invited, and we set up a date for the formal. And you must understand that this is a true story, and none of this is made up. In 1979, who was really popular? Steve Martin. And Steve Martin at that time had a white suit, a white hat, and the whole setup. So, of course, since I'm kind of a goofy nut anyway, I show up to the Christmas formal in a Steve Martin suit. I could have been going to a Halloween party and it would have been fitted perfectly. But here I am, white suit, white hat. And mind you, I am driving a tricked out van. That was the rage at the time. So I drive up in my fully tricked out van in a Steve Martin white suit to pick up my blind date. Now, she has not seen me before. So I get out of my vehicle and I go into Ford Hall, which is the residence hall, which is just all these floors full of girls. And I walk into the lobby and I am carrying a vase with a single rose in it, not a corsage, mind you. So I go up to the desk, they page her to come down. Now I'm nervous and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm looking at the elevator door, and the elevator door parts. And all I can see is this 6-foot tall Nordic goddess on 4-inch heels. And she's towering above every other girl in that elevator. I don't remember the next half an hour. I have no idea what I did. Evidently, I was dumb as hell. I was completely mind blown. So we go out to my van, and of course, she sees my van, and she's already kind of weirded out by my white suit. So she sees my van and goes, "Oh boy, it's just not going to be a good night." And at that point, I discover I had lost my keys. I couldn't find my keys. 20 minutes of searching for my keys. Every single pocket in my suit. I'm looking in the van, everywhere. Keys not to be found. I was completely brain dead at this point. I finally realized, oh, I left them on the counter in Ford Hall. So I have to go back inside, get them off the counter, then we get to go on our date. Now, mind you, at the time, she's carrying a vase with a rose in it, not a corsage. So I was so completely taken by her that I don't even remember most of the evening. I just remembered that it was like, this is it. My life is complete at this point. I've met the girl that I'm going to be with forever. Now all I had to do was convince her that I was the one for her. So what I did was I knew she didn't like the van. So that weekend I sold the van, and I knew she liked yellow sports cars. So I went out and bought a yellow RX-7, one of the first 3 in Kansas at that time, so that I would have a yellow sports car, which is what she loved. So I went out and did that. And then that next weekend when I went home, there was a family dinner. And I walked in and I announced at the family dinner, I have found the girl I'm going to marry. I knew immediately. So it was the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to me and my wife. And we've been married now 43 plus years. It's fantastic. It's amazing to be with this woman.